In the previous episode, Hein went somewhere and Hyun-woo tried to find her. That's because Hein doesn't remember why she's there. She didn't know how she got there and she's very scared. Hearing that, Hyun-woo immediately hugged her. And when they came home, they were caught in the rain, and they took shelter. Hyun-woo asked why Hein came alone. Hein just wants to help Hyun-woo's father during the village head election. Because Hyun-woo's sister sent a message, her father could lose if Hein doesn't come. Then someone called Hein's name. It turns out, it was Hyun-woo's family who were looking for Hein. And when they saw Hein, they were relieved because she was fine. Then Hyun-woo's family let Hyun-woo and Hein rest in the room together. Hein's hair was wet, so she borrowed a hairdryer. Hyun-woo took it and Hein tried to dry her hair. But Hein was having trouble, then Hyun-woo helped her. But they looked nervous and Hein stopped, because her hair was already dry. Then Hyun-woo asked if Hein was hungry. Hein felt still very full, because previously she was offered a lot of food by the people in there and also Hyun-woo's mother. Hyun-woo saw the wounds on Hein's hands and feet. And Hyun-woo treats Hein's wounds carefully. Hyun-woo asks Hein not to be alone anymore, because Hein is always hurt. Then Hein saw that her hand lines were very short and she was offended because Hein was seriously ill. But Hyun-woo said that Hein wasn't seriously ill. That a miracle will come and the treatment in Europe is very good. And Hein asks if Hyun-woo wants to accompany her for treatment, because only Hyun-woo knows about her illness. And when they were close together, they looked at each other and the atmosphere became romantic. But then Hyun-woo left Hein. And Hein is confused about why Hyun-woo suddenly left. Hyun-woo's family gathers and discusses Hein and Hyun-woo. That Hein must not know about the divorce. But Hyun-woo's father apparently told his friend. They became worried, what if the person said it to someone else, and it reached Hein? Then his father went to his friend's place. He only told to his mother. Of course, this made his father shocked and worried. But seeing his mother's condition with dementia didn't worry him. It turns out, Hyun-woo came to his brother and chatted with him. His brother felt strange why Hyun-woo came out of the room. Did they fight? Hyun-woo answered no, but the opposite. When his brother asked him to go back to his room, Hyun-woo refused. He actually drank a drink with him. Hein, who was still confused in her room, couldn't sleep. And sent a message to Hyun-woo that said, "Where are you?" And Hyun-woo answered, "Go to sleep first." Hein just smiled and tried to sleep. But Hein can't sleep and thinks Hyun-woo ran away from her.
어떡해?
Then Hein comes out and sees Hyun-woo drinking with his brother. Hein heard their conversation that Hyun-woo would come back later when Hein was asleep. And that made Hein angry and disappointed. Hyun-woo felt that he was fine with whatever happened to Hein. Because he doesn't like it and actually hates it. But strangely enough, Hyun-woo couldn't do it anymore. Hein reassured herself that they didn't need to sleep together. Because they've been sleeping separately for a long time. 2 years ago the room, prepared for their baby, was suddenly demolished by Hein. And that made Hyun-woo angry and asked Hain why she was breaking up the room. Hain said that the room just annoyed her. That they don't need it anymore. And that made Hyun-woo think that Hain didn't want to get pregnant again. Hyun-woo returned to the room and asked the servant to move his things into the room. And he also needs a mattress because he will sleep in that room. Even though Hain also felt devastated because he dismantled the baby's room. They were both devastated, but didn't show their sadness. Finally, Hain returned to Seoul. He was accompanied by Hyun-woo's family. And there was the neighbor's mother. Suddenly she asked Hyun-woo to be patient in facing the divorce. And that made the family and Hyun-woo panic. But the mother was rambling, so Hain didn't take it too seriously. Hain said goodbye and Hyun-woo's mother brought vegetables for her. Her mother also advised Hain to take care of her health. And when he saw Hyun-woo, Hain still felt annoyed with him.
담배 있냐?
Finally, Hyun-woo and Hain arrived. Hyun-woo gave Hain an umbrella. And Hain said that she wasn't waiting for him. Hyun-woo didn't think Hain was waiting for him and asked to come in because it was cold. Hain sees Hyun-woo getting caught in the rain and asks him to hold the umbrella properly. Because she was still annoyed, Hain just walked, and it turned out that Eun-sang was there. Hain also shares an umbrella with Eun-sang. Hyun-woo could only see the two of them walking together. Eun-sang calls Hain and asks her to go to a meeting. And as Hain walked, suddenly she felt like she was in a snowy place again. Then Eun-sang came and holding Hain. Eun-sang had been waiting for her for a long time. He also saw that Hain didn't look well. But Hain says she's fine. And when Eun-sang took Hain, Hyun-woo saw them. When Hyun-woo asked about Hain's condition, Hain asked him to ignore it.
고마워.
Hain met with a doctor to check her condition. And the doctor asked Hain to postpone the trip to Germany. Because the white blood cell count was too low, Hain had to wait. But Hain was in a position where she couldn't wait. And when Hain was talking outside the room, it turned out that Hain's aunt was there. And she heard Hain talking to the doctor about having a brain tumor. Her aunt said that Hain didn't need to worry too much. Because the friend who had a brain tumor was able to recover and carry out normal activities, that we have money and all diseases can be cured. So she asked Hain not to worry. Hain wasn't worried about her recovery, but she was worried that her aunt would tell other people about her illness. Her aunt was shocked that no one knew except her husband. Her aunt said that she wouldn't make a scene. Even though she was holding back her sadness, she couldn't hold it in and then hug Hain. Her aunt saw that Hain was going to Germany alone. Her aunt asked why Hyun-woo didn't come. Hain answered that Hyun-woo was busy. When her aunt wants to come along, Hain says that she wants to go alone. Her aunt is waiting for Hyun-woo. She asked why Hyun-woo didn't come with Hain to Germany. Hyun-woo was shocked because he didn't know Hain was going to Germany. Hain arrives at the hospital in Germany. She comes into the room and feels anxious. She also underwent treatment and medical tests alone, without anyone accompanying her. Hyun-woo watches Hain's video. When Hain was asked what her dream was, Hein answered that one of her dreams was that she wanted to travel with her husband. Go for a walk, drink coffee, chat and ask each other how they are. She wished she could be like that every day. The doctor said that Hein could not undergo treatment yet, because her condition was getting worse, and the doctor asked Hein to wait and monitor the condition and try again.
시간이 없는데.
Hein relaxes alone. She felt tired and her feet hurt because she was wearing high heels. Suddenly she heard someone calling her name and thought she was hallucinating. It turns out he wasn't hallucinating. The one who called her was Hyun-woo. He came to meet Hein in Germany. Hyun-woo put on the shoes he bought. Hein is still shocked and asks why Hyun-woo is there. Hyun-woo answered, because Hein's cell phone was off, and he thought hard that this place was Hein's favorite place. Hein felt like they were lying, that this place was a place without anxiety and tears. But Hyun-woo felt that Hein was lying, because when she proposed, Hein promised not to make Hyun-woo cry. But in reality, Hyun-woo often cries. He even likes to sleep separately so he can cry himself to sleep. And now they are married. Hyun-woo must be by Hein's side at times like this. Hein never told Hyun-woo that she didn't want to be alone. Hyun-woo apologizes to Hein. And Hein stretched out her hand and invited him home. And they hugged.